Most of those places are run down. They're not the kind of a place that I would like to live in nor raise children in. I wouldn't want to raise my own there, and I certainly wouldn't want to raise my nursery children because they mean a lot to me. I think the environment's got everything in the world to do with how you raise a child.
Well, what are you going to do now?
Did he threaten you in any way?
No, he did not.
Were you afraid? Have you ever been held up before?
No, I've never been held up before.
What was going through your mind while all this was going on?
To try and get all of the alarm systems set off.
Were you able to set off any alarm system before he actually got away?
I hope I did in time.
Health violations occur every day at every dump or landfill in Fort Worth and in Tarrant County. Some of the violations include no daily coverage of garbage and drainage into streams, rivers, and lakes, dangerous underground fires, and garbage dumped directly into water that eventually drains into the Trinity River, and even hogs feeding upon open trash. I visited 6 landfills over the weekend, 3 regulated by the county and 3 regulated by the city of Fort Worth. County inspectors say it's better to have some violations at landfills than know where to put the garbage at all. City Health Director Roy Adams gives his opinion of the violations.
Well, in knowing actually the three major sites that the city operates, and I'm really not aware of any real major violations. Now, all of our dumps are located in areas where they could end up, drainage from them, but end up into a creek or directly into a lake. But there are proper controls, and we have carried out a routine sampling program to be sure that no drainage is entering the streams, and not sure that we could locate a dump ground in Tarrant County that wouldn't end up in one of our streams if we didn't put forth some controls.
Mr. Adams, there's a privately owned landfill on Pipeline Road that the city supposedly maintains where there's dumping going on directly into water. Some hogs are running loose in the dump itself. Are you aware of this landfill?
I'm aware of the dump, but I'm not aware of just what the violations are at this time. Well, it's been several months since I've seen this dump, so I would be hesitant to say just what violations, and probably there are some. But the severity of it is, I'd have to go take a look at it first.
Adams says the city will probably have to eventually haul garbage up to 50 or 100 miles away, but violations of health regulations will probably continue until a better method of disposal can be found. Jim Green, Channel 8 News on the Move, Fort Worth.
Dr. Williams, what did you see as the role of the university today?
Well, the role of the university has really not changed. It simply is elaborated on the basis of modern times. It is to mature people for leadership positions. It is to preserve the knowledge we have and to help people learn how to discover new knowledge. It is to add, basically, to the growth of young people into maturity.
Do you think that education has kept pace with the modern technology that we have encountered in the past 20 years?
I think education has kept pace very well indeed. As a matter of fact, collegiate education is blended with the research, and so it discovers the education it discovers the knowledge it keeps pace with.
The Move, Forest Hill. Today, three women, Mrs. Judy Johnson, Mrs. Detilda Gore, and Mrs. Ann Sanders, presented a petition with 190 signatures on it to Jim Stratton, who is the Chief Land Agent of the Tarrant County Water Control and Improvement District Number 1. Mrs. Sanders, what did Mr. Stratton tell you?
He promised us that he and his board would look into this matter, take aerial surveys, and find out just where the obstruction is that keeps backing this water up. And they promised us a meeting in 2 weeks.
And you do have a definite meeting set in 2 weeks?
We pray we do.
Between 500 and 600 children live in this general area, and as more homes are being completed and more families are moving in, those families will also have children. Water has always been a Pied Piper for children, and the children of Carriage Hill area are no different. Last year, residents say, this was nothing but a dry ditch. Today it's a death-dealing monster, and residents want something done about it, and in a hurry.
The program calls for communicating with all the citizens of the Dallas area to acquaint them with the fact that they can bring aluminum beverage containers to a number of collection points in and around the city where they will be paid for the aluminum cans they bring in, thus raising money for their favorite charity, for the group they belong to, or whatever their purpose is. We will then take these cans, we'll process them here into bulk bundles in the Dallas area at a scrap material plant. We'll put them on box cars. We'll ship the aluminum cans back to a large plant that Alcoa has near Evansville, Indiana, where we will remelt them into metallic aluminum. We will then roll it back into aluminum sheet, and aluminum cans will be made out of it again, completing a circle process that, as I say, we hope will help solve the litter program and help conserve a natural resource.
Then I noticed on the bottom paragraph it said, put all 50s, 20s, and 100s. And then it also said on it, don't activate any of the alarms. And so I went on and gave him the 20s and 10s and 50s that were in my drawer. And then he asked, and he said, go ahead and give me some dimes, and rocked back on his heels. And then I opened the drawer further and gave him the rest of my 10s. And then he asked me to go ahead and put the note in the shopping bag, in which I did. And then he said, wait until I leave the bank to even get up.
more individualization of instruction. Some teachers are writing curriculum that they use, writing the books they use, and it's different in that it's more practical, and there's more work in which students learn on the job and go off the job and practice what they've been taught.
Mrs. Railsback, do you feel that the textbook industry has had too much of a dictatorial effect on the curriculum in public schools?
Well, I'm not in favor of textbook usage exclusively, and neither is the textbook company. They've done a beautiful job of doing what they should do, is to present a textbook, and they couldn't do otherwise under the circumstances. But right now, textbooks are changing just as curriculum is, and so are those who publish textbooks.